Before we get into the episode, I am thrilled to announce that the EntreMD Business School is open for enrollment. The EntreMD Business School is the only school of its kind for physicians who want to build 6, 7, and multiple 7-figure businesses. Over the last 2 years, we have had hundreds of doctors go through the school with unbelievable results. Some of them run brands, some of them run private practices, some of them are coaches, some have other kinds of service-based businesses or product-based businesses. And we've had people come in and cross the 6-figure milestone, cross the 7-figure milestone, cross the multiple 7-figure milestone. You will be in a place where you'll get the coaching, the community, the accountability that you need to thrive as an entrepreneur, especially in the times that we're in. So maybe you've been following me for a while. Maybe you've been getting so much out of the EntreMD podcast and you've been wondering, how can I work with Dr. Una and the community more? Well, this is your chance. Come join us in the EntreMD Business School. It is application only. So go to entremd.com/business to turn in your application. I cannot tell you how many doctors have made statements like this. I recovered my investment in the first week. I recovered my investment in my bank account in the first 90 days. This is the best investment I've made in myself ever. I want you to have that kind of story, not just a story of building a great business that serves a lot and earns a lot, but having a business that gives you the freedom to live life on your terms. So don't wait any longer. entremd.com/business. And now for the episode. Hi, docs. Welcome to the EntreMD podcast, where it's all about helping amazing physicians just like you embrace entrepreneurship so you can have the freedom to live life and practice medicine on your terms. I'm your host, Dr. Una. Well, hello, friend. Welcome back to another episode of the EntreMD podcast. As always, I am excited you are a listener. If you have not taken a moment to do this, I would ask you to please leave us a review on iTunes. It really does help with the algorithm. It helps us get the word out there. And you know, in the EntreMD world, we are on a mission to help 100,000 physicians figure out how to build profitable businesses so they can live life and practice medicine on their terms. Now, this is their free MBA. So please write us a review, share this with another friend. They will thank you forever. Okay. Now, I want us to look at something that in the grand scheme of events, not many people get to do, but in the EntreMD world, many people do, which is hitting their first $100,000 in revenue. Okay. And, I've heard people say, oh, if you're a coach, you can't make that much, or if you're this, you can't make that much and all of that. But I want to show you 3 areas of focus on your way to your first 100,000. Okay. I have built multiple very successful businesses. There are many people I have coached who have crossed 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, multiple 7 figures, and the number on their way to 8. Okay. We're not there yet, but we're working on it. Okay. So can this be done? Yes. Has it been done many, many times? Yes. And so I just want to give you some things because there are mistakes people make on their way there. And I want to help you avoid those. Okay. So if you want to do that, you're a coach, you're a service provider, you're just starting out, or you're building a new vertical. So you already have a very successful business, could even be a 7-figure business, but you're building this new vertical. How do I get to that first 100,000? That's what we're going to be looking at today. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this. These are 3 things. As we talk about them, I want you to run an audit and ask yourself, am I doing these things? Am I doing the exact opposite of these things? So we can course correct. Okay. The very first thing is keeping things simple. Keeping things simple. Simplicity scales, complexity constrains. Simplicity scales, complexity constraints. The simpler your business is, the simpler your offers are, the more you can grow, the more you can scale. The more you add layers of complexity, the more you create this business that cannot grow, that cannot scale. Okay. So think simple. Think simple. Okay. And I remember a company who was like, oh, we want to do 1 million copies of a book. We want to sell 1 million copies of a book. And they're in this, brainstorming session. They're like, how would we do that? And, people are like, okay, we'll do ads or we'll do affiliates. They're talking about all these things. And eventually they're like, hey, we could sell 1 million copies to one client who has the capacity to distribute 1 million copies. It was the simplest solution, right? And at the end of the day, that's exactly what they did. They sold it to a company who had a lot of staff, and they used it as their holiday presents for that year. And they ended up giving out 1 million copies, right? So they sold that, and they sold it dirt cheap. But I mean, like, $1 times 1 million is still 1 million, right? And so think simple. So for instance, if you're a coach and you're trying to go to their first $100,000 offer, one of the greatest, not $100,000 offer, but, make your first $100,000. One of the greatest temptations you must avoid, like it is a disease, is the temptation to create 1 million offers. Like, oh, this person needs this, so I'm going to create this for them. And then I'm also going to create this group coaching program. And I'm also going to create this one-on-one thing. And I'm also going to write this ebook that I'm going to sell. And I'm also going to do that. Complexity constraints. And when you're trying to get to $100,000, what you need is focus. And the more your offer is closer to one offer, the better for you. And my recommendation is one, do one thing. Do that one thing a lot, right? Make that offer a lot, but that one thing, own one thing. So I want you to think about it. If you're a coach and you were not even like super high ticket, you were charging people $1,000 a month to work with you. To make the math easy, let's say you were charging $10,000 for a year. To hit 100,000, you need 10 of those people. You need 10 people who pay you less than $1,000 a month. Right? That's what you need. That's what you need for your first 100,000. And so you want to have one thing so you can direct all your energy at that. So you can become really good at delivering that. You can become really good at selling that, at marketing that, at promoting that. And you're not thinking about 700,000 things, and you're not trying to build a whole big team to do the 300,000 things you picked. You're doing one thing, right? And so I want you to think in this moment, like, I'm on my way to 100K. I want to do it like I mean. I want to hit it. I want that. That's my target for the next 12 months or whatever. That's what I want to hit. What is that? What is your one thing? What is your one thing that you're going to do? Okay. And just think about it and then do the math. How many of those things will I have to do? You'll find out that it's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot, and it's more doable, but you want to become this person who's known for that thing, and the mastery that is required. You don't need to do one thing. Now, have people done 7 things? Yes. But let me ask you this. Have people driven without seatbelts? Yes. Right? Have people driven without seatbelts and they didn't die? Yes. But does that mean you're going to go around driving without seatbelts? No. Now, I know that's a weird analogy, but the point is, it's so much easier to do it this way. And so when I started off with, my first business, which was my private practice, it was one thing. It was just the services we had as a pediatrician. And I could have layered on so many things, but the idea is to keep it simple. When I started EntreMD, I started with, one-on-one coaching. The idea was to keep it simple, right? And just keep throwing stuff at it, right? Like, that one thing that you're doing. So pick one thing, pick a thing, do the math, run the numbers, look at what you actually need to do to make it work. Because another thing is that a lot of people say they want to do that, but they've never run the numbers. So run the numbers. Okay. So that's one. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it light. Eliminate complications. Like literally, if you're a coach, you need a Zoom account, you need PayPal or Stripe, and you need yourself. Like you can literally go to 100,000 with that. And I'm not telling you that you should not be excellent or anything like that. But I'm telling you, like, you may be thinking, if I don't have the workbook, then I can't, if I don't have this, it's a lot simpler than you think. Okay. So that's number one. Number two is sales. The monster muscle that you want to build on your way to 100K is selling. It really is selling. It is making offers. It's asking people to come and work with you. And that is with everything you do. So you meet people, you tell them who you are, what you do, tell them, who's a great fit to work with you, invite them to come work with you. Whether you're a private practice, whether you're a coach, whether you have some other service-based business, whether you have a product, you are constantly asking people to work with you. In the EntreMD Business School, very, very often I would do a challenge, some version of making an offer a day, an ask a day, whether it's an ask for a referral, an ask for someone to come work with you, an ask for someone to continue to work with you, and on and on and on and on and on. Okay. So I want you to think about it. It is selling. Now, it is in this place, if you're less than $100,000 and this is your first business, then chances are you've never really had to do this, right? For most people, you've never really had to do this. And for most people, they feel weird about it. So this is a time to overcome that, right? I don't like talking about money. This is a time to overcome that. We have a lot of episodes on that, right? We talk about how to sell confidently, how to fall in love with your offer so you can continue to make offers. Like, you want to continually ask people to come work with you. A really good discipline to have is an offer a day. Like, my head does not hit the pillow till I tell somebody what I do, how I can help them, and ask them to work with me. Okay. What are you doing? You're building a muscle. And the thing is this, people don't say yes till you ask a question. People don't say yes till you ask them, right? And so you're building that muscle, you're creating opportunity. Even if they don't work with you then, they may work with you later. Even if they never work with you, they may tell somebody else about you. But what you're doing is you're growing, you're creating this snowball. And so the beginning, it'll look like I'm doing a lot of asking and nothing's happening. But the more you do it, the more you're setting the stage, the more people say yes, it's going to be amazing. But if you're not willing to build this muscle, then you really aren't willing to hit the $100,000 mark. Selling. So simple offer, like one offer, and then selling. Okay. So that's the second thing. The third thing is marketing. Okay. It is increasing your visibility. Remember, when you are starting out, if you're less than 100K, your biggest problem, now this is a problem for businesses in general, but your big problem is nobody knows you. Like, the people who would love you, love your service, love to work with you, pay you, that people who'll be so grateful you exist, have no idea you exist. And so your job is to keep going at the marketplace until the marketplace recognizes you're there, right? And so your job is to continue to put yourself out there, okay? That could look like being a guest on other people's podcasts, their YouTube channels. That can look like being a guest on somebody else's IG Live or Facebook Live or LinkedIn Live. That could look like speaking at events. That could look like networking at other events. There's so many things you can do, but the bottom line is you continue to put yourself in position where people who didn't know about you now find out about you. Okay. And the more you do it, just like they're asking, the more you create this really big snowball where you know a lot of people who tell people about you. And, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Your audience keeps getting bigger. Okay. So I want you to think about these three things. Now, of course, service delivery is there. Like, you should serve your people in such a way that they become raving fans and they tell other people about you and they continue to want to work with you. But the reason why I didn't put that here is, a lot of times for physicians, this is not our problem. We're really good at our core, we want to help people. So we're really good at helping people. We're really good at, creating good experiences and all of those things. But it's with the simple offer, the selling, the marketing. That is where the challenges come. So I cannot tell you how many times I'm in a forum with entrepreneurs and they're like, I hate marketing. I'm like, what you just said is I hate entrepreneurship, because they go together. Marketing is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is marketing. You cannot separate them, right? And so maybe you're in resistance. I don't want to have to sell. If I have a good service or a good product, the people will come. You are in resistance. This is a time to go like, you know what? Truth of the matter is, this is not going to work the way I'm trying to make it work. So yes, I don't necessarily love marketing. I don't love selling, but I want to thrive as an entrepreneur. I want to be able to build this mission, build a business system around it so I have the freedom to do it. I want to create time freedom and financial freedom for myself and for my family. I want to do that. So even though I don't like these things, I could do them. I can start embracing them. I could start learning them. I can start doing them uncomfortable. I can start doing them messy and scared. And I could try that out. I'll give you an example. I loved a lot of sciences like physics, chemistry. Those are the best. I did not like biology. Okay. I'm like, I don't want to look at toads. I don't want to look at amoeba. I don't want to do any of that. Okay. But there is no path to medical school without biology. And so I didn't fall in love with it, but I liked it enough to do it and get an A in it. Why? Because I wanted to go to medical school. Now, in the same way, there's no path to entrepreneurship without marketing, like building a business from the ground up without marketing. And so, you want to start embracing it, even though you don't really like it. But I started off as a super shy, socially awkward, introverted introvert, and I love marketing. And sometimes when I say it, I'm like, oh, you said that? And I did. I love marketing. And the thing is, you can love it too. If you do it long enough, you may find that you love it, because the truth of the matter is marketing, selling, that is one of the best ways you serve your clients and your patients, because they do not know you exist. They have a problem that you solve that they would pay to make go away, but they don't know anything about you. And so when you show up, you're serving them, you're helping them, you're daring your fears to help your clients. Okay. And that is just, it's amazing. That's what we do. So start thinking about it that way. Get out of resistance, the resistance to selling, the resistance to marketing. Just get out of it and go like, you know what? Why do I even hate it? What is the story I've been telling myself about this that's made me hate it? I've been telling myself that, marketing is not professional. Marketing and selling, that's beneath me as a physician, because I'm a professional. Marketing and selling, that's what people who manipulate other people, that's what they do. You want to start thinking like, is that what I'm doing? Is that what I'm doing? Is that what I've been thinking? And then you want to put those thoughts on trial, because that's not true. Marketing and selling is one of the highest forms of service ever. Okay. So you want to do 100K. I want you to do 100K. I want to celebrate you going like, I hit that milestone. Then my first 100K, right? Simple offer. Keep it simple. Number one. Number two, embrace selling. Embrace it. Put yourself out there. Yes, it will be nerve-wracking in the beginning. I promise it gets better. Okay. Then embrace marketing. Put yourself in front of people who do not know you exist intentionally. Go like, what have I done today? What have I done this week to put myself in a position where people who had no idea I exist now know that I exist, right? And if you would commit to doing these three things, right, you're setting yourself up to build that $100,000 business. Many have done it before you, and you can be one of them. Now, if this sounds like a whole struggle, don't make it a thing. It just means you're a regular entrepreneur, right? The things with the biggest dividends are the things that we tend to not want to do the most. If you're struggling with this, there is a place for you, okay? This is why we stay in the EntreMD Business School and get the coaching and the accountability and the community we need to stay on these three things. Stay on that one offer. Stay on selling. That's why we do challenges like the Ask-a-thon, where you're doing an ask a day and things like that. That's why we have all those challenges for visibility, right? And you're doing all of that to make sure that you grow your business and you make it profitable, okay? Where you cross the 6-figure mark, multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, and all of that. So if you've been thinking about it, come check us out. You can turn in an application. It's entremd.com/business. We would love to have you join the school if it's a right fit for you and for us. We'd love for you to do that. And you get the support you need, and you get the accountability, and you do this a lot of selling, a lot of marketing. Okay. And then you cross that. And when we start talking about, the focus for 7 figures, then there's also things for that as well. Okay. But regardless, take a look at your stuff. Own an offer, sell it a lot, and market your stuff a lot, and watch what will happen in your business. The things that you thought were ceilings, you just shatter one after the other, and I would love to celebrate that with you. Okay? All right. So don't forget to share this episode with a friend, and I will see you on the next episode of the EntreMD podcast. Hey, if you love listening to the EntreMD podcast, I want to invite you to join EntreMD On Demand. It is my signature subscription program that gives you access to a library of business courses designed to help you do one thing as a physician entrepreneur, and that is to thrive. Just head out to entremd.com/on-demand, and I'd love to have you join us. See you on the inside.